This week's episode, Halifax Donair, made in the average kitchen. My home province, born in Nova Scotia. I'm gonna show you from scratch how to make the most amazing Donair with the most amazing sweet sauce. Let's get at it. So welcome back. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell. We appreciate the support. I'm gonna go through everything I'm gonna do with you today. So I've got half and half ground beef, half pork, and then I've got my spice mixture here. It's a tablespoon of cornstarch, tablespoon of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of black pepper, 1.5 teaspoon cayenne, 1.5 teaspoon salt, teaspoon paprika, and 2 teaspoons of dried oregano. The other thing that we're gonna add to this is an onion, and I'm gonna show you a little trick. We're basically gonna cut the onion up, and then I'm gonna smush out or drain out all of the liquid, so it's more like a dried onion. I'm gonna introduce you to the newest member of the Average Kitchen family here, this cool little gadget. 15 bucks, watch how amazing it is. So, onion, just gonna quarter it, and drop those in there. Watch this, Jamie, can you get in closer? Look at that. What did that take? 5-6 seconds? Full onion, diced to perfection. So this little bad boy I bought on Amazon for about 15 bucks, which is a pretty good, I got my spatula, pretty good price. So what you're gonna wanna do here is carefully spoon out your onion onto some paper towel. And then you're gonna grab another piece of paper towel. And you're just gonna basically push down on it and get rid of all that moisture. Just like that, that's it. So that's ready to go. I should say I've got my oven preheating at 325. I've got my onion here, and I'm just gonna carefully lift that up, dump that in, wipe off as many as you can. And then my spice mixture, I'm gonna throw that in. And then I'm just gonna basically mix this pork beef combo with the onion and the spices and just mix it up quite well by hand. And then once that's done, we're gonna actually put this into a food processor. If you don't have a food processor, a blender works quite well. The only thing I suggest, depending on how good of a blender you have or how strong your blender is, you may wanna do this in 5 or 6 portions because you don't wanna burn out your blender. And eventually, what you want, and you'll see it here, is you want this beef pork mixture coming out of your food processor or blender looking like paste. And all of this fat fibrous material, we want to basically break all of that down. It's really going to create an amazing dense Donair meat. So I think that's pretty well mixed. So I'm going to take these dirty gloves off and get my food processor set up and ready to go, and then we're going to show you what we're going to do next. Okay, so I'm ready to start breaking down my meat. Relatively new piece of kit here for me, this Breville food processor. So I've actually never done Donair meat in it yet. I've always done it in a blender before, so I'm probably gonna start on the smaller side and make sure that it blends up okay. So that looks pretty good to start. Throw the cover on here, get it powered up, and just finished the first batch, and I just want you to see the consistency of how that looks. So it's almost kind of like pasty. This blender or this food processor I have actually has a timer on it. It actually blended for 34 seconds. So nothing too crazy, and it blended up really well. And you'll see that all of those white, fibrous, fatty pieces that we saw before, you don't quite see as many of them anymore. And that's what we want. Okay, the most integral, complex, most important part of the Nova Scotia Donair, the sweet sauce. It's actually super easy. Can of sweetened condensed milk. This is just a no-name one. Into a stand mixer. If you don't have a stand mixer, blender or beaters would be equally as good. Now, one would think, hey, just throw a spatula in the inside of that can and get all that goodness out. Big mistake. Done it, shreds spatula. Super sharp on the inside. It's a little bit of a pro tip there for you. So I basically just use a spoon and get as much of it as I can out. That inside rim of that metal container literally will destroy your spatula. So on top of our sweetened condensed milk, I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of white vinegar and a tablespoon of garlic powder. And then we're gonna whip this up for probably 7 or 8 minutes. And it's gonna become a real nice, thicker sauce. And I highly recommend you make this either the day before or the morning of you have it, because it's gotta be cold. You can't be having this at room temperature, no way. 1/4 cup of white vinegar in 2 teaspoons or 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. Put that in there. Put this down, make sure our bowl's secure. It is. Lock it. So I start it slower on the mixer first, and then as the powders and stuff start to get mixed in, I ramp up the speed. So if you can see it now, I'll stop it and show you. So you can see it now, it's still pretty thin, still pretty loose, but you'll see in 7 or 8 minutes, it's really gonna thicken up, almost like a real thick whipped cream. Okay, so the next step to this is forming a log, or I guess log's the best word. So as you can see, the meat's all completely blended up. So basically what you wanna do is to start forming somewhat of a log. And you gotta keep in mind that whatever the shape of your log's gonna be is gonna be your finished product of your donair meat. So if you want thicker slices, thinner slices, you shape it accordingly. But what you definitely wanna make sure, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna probably pick this up a couple times and sort of almost slam it down. We definitely wanna make sure there's no air pockets within our donair meat. So you can see it's starting to form this log shape, and I'm actually just gonna do that a couple times to make sure there's no air pockets, because essentially you want this to be relatively tight. Okay, I think it's pretty good. It's a pretty good sized chunk of donair meat. So what's gonna happen is we are going to take this meat, put it in the oven, 350, 2 hours, take it out, let it cool, wrap it in saran wrap or tin foil. Saran wrap's probably better, in the fridge overnight. Tomorrow we're gonna come back to the average kitchen here. We're gonna slice it, and I'm gonna show you how to finish it and make it amazing. Hey everybody, it's tomorrow. Yeah, it's tomorrow. Anyway, donair meat, spent the night chilling in the fridge, wrapped in a saran wrap or a cellophane. So we're gonna open that up, and I'm gonna show you this bad boy. So what we're gonna do, I've got a meat slicer here, and I appreciate that not everybody has a meat slicer, and you don't really need one, but it certainly makes things go really, really quick, and you get consistent size on your donair. So we're gonna use it today. So I basically, from when I do this, I just cut this in half, and you're gonna be able to see, that's the cutaway of our donair meat. So what we're gonna do is we're going to slice this up. I already prepped my vegetables. We're gonna slice it up, and then we're gonna pan fry it to get caramelization on both sides of that beautiful donair meat. Warm up some pitas and smash a couple donairs. So we're pretty much ready to caramelize our donair meat as well as heat up our pitas. So a little kind of pro tip for you, something that's worked really well for me. These pitas I actually had frozen in advance just because I didn't have time to go out and get any. But what's nice about them is if you take them out when they're thawed out, I just hit them with a couple little sprinkles of water, wrap them in foil, throw them in a toaster oven or in your oven for 5-8 minutes, and that little bit of water really helps moisten them up. You'll see here we also have some Roma tomato that I prepped, some red onion, and some lettuce. Now I know the traditional Halifax Donair enthusiasts will be like, Marc, you can't put iceberg lettuce on a Halifax Donair. Well, you know what? I'm going to. You know why? Because I like it. And you don't have to, but I love it. So we're gonna caramelize our meat, and we're gonna build this donair. And you saw yesterday, still part of this video, but it was yesterday, we made the amazing sweet sauce. So we're gonna lather that all over this donair. It's gonna be amazing. Okay, so I have my donair meat on the gas stove here, and I'm just gonna add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil to help with that caramelization process. There is obviously fat in the meat, but this really helps. So we're just gonna throw a little bit in the middle here, and maybe a little bit on the side. And then I'll sort of move it around. So, gonna get that caramelized. Next up, time to build a donair.